Welcome to Layer the Alchemist, where we discuss all things heavy metal and hard rock. On today's episode, first in my new series of what I'm calling Quick Hits Latest Listens. This is where I'm going to take a moment to just quickly go through some of the latest vinyl that I've bought and what I've been listening to on vinyl recently. I was inspired to make this because I wanted to make a video today and I couldn't think of what I wanted to do. I've got some videos in the works where I'm still kind of listening and making lists and stuff that I'm not quite ready for. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do this. This will be fun. These are albums that I've maybe only listened to once or twice now because I just got them. So normally when I prepare a video, I get out, I get all kinds of information. I research it, who's the producer, or I make mental notes about all the songs. But for this, these are just some quick thoughts on some latest things that I've gotten. And I'm always listening to stuff that I'm preparing for videos. For instance, I just made a Rush Moving Pictures video with my friend CK. And so, of course, I've been listening to this. So a lot of these albums that I'm going to talk about, some of them I might do a video on in the future. Some of these I probably won't, So like up there too, I've got my Gary Newman record. I was listening to that during the week because I did my Outer Realm episode. So, all right, here we go. I just bought this from Mojo Books and Records, which is a record store near the University of South Florida. It's Mott the Hoople Live. I only have one other Mott the Hoople record, so they're a band that don't know a lot about, but I like them. And so I saw this, and it was in like pretty much unplayed condition. And it is really cool. It's a cool live album. All the Way from Memphis is a great song. Sucker is a song I never heard before. It's got kind of this start-stop thing, which is really cool. Rest in Peace is a cool ballad. All the Young Dudes, of course, is a great song, and it works fantastic here live. Interestingly, those songs are all on side one, and when I listened to it the first time I listened, I thought, oh, I must have put side two on because I assumed that they would end the record with All the Young Dudes, but it's on side one. So it sounds like a live record. Doesn't sound like they went in and really touched anything up, which is cool. So it's a cool album. Mott the Hoople Live. All right, at that same record store, same day, I got this Tucky Buzzard. Buzzard is the name of the record. As you can see from the back, looks pretty heavy, hard rocking stuff, right? 70s stuff. It's a band name that I've heard before. They have another album that I think is more talked about, but this was the one they had. So and it was reasonably priced and in good condition. And it is okay. About every other song on here, I think, is good. So there's some hard rock, some cool, heavy, like early 70s riffing. Tucky Buzzard, I don't know if it's this particular... yes, it was. So Bill Wyman from the Rolling Stones produced this, and it's a little kind of schizophrenic. Like 1 minute it's like heavy blues rock, and then the next it just goes off into a different tangent, which I didn't really always care for. But it was pretty cool, and I saw it. Thought I would grab it. This is an example of a record. I'm not sure if I would do a video on this, but it's cool. It's got a cool album cover. All right, this is what I've been listening to because I've been inputting my vinyl collection into Discogs, and I'm made my way through D, and I actually have 2 copies of this album, and so I was listening to see which one I wanted to keep. This is Dio, Lock Up the Wolves. Unfortunately, I wish my copy was a little bit cleaner. This one, I'd still maybe like to upgrade this at some point. This, unfortunately, for me is when Dio starts to I start to lose it a little bit with Dio. I know some people really love this record. Rowan Robinson steps in and some nice bluesy guitar playing. He's like a teenager at the time. But there is some great stuff on here. Wild One is fun. Hey Angel is cool. The title track is cool. Born on the Sun. Unfortunately, Dio would start to do too many kind of slow, sludgy songs for me. And hey, I'm a fan of doom metal, but this stuff just feels to me like it's too slow. There's just not enough energy and fire in some of the songs, but it's still a cool album. So Dio, Lock Up the Wolves. Listening to that. All right. This, my friend Steve from All the World's a Stage sent this to me. He has an awesome company called All the World's a Stage that does merchandising, and I believe he told me his artist that he works with, his graphic artist guy, worked on this album cover, and so he sent me a copy of this, and I didn't know what to expect. Of course, I've heard Miles Kennedy's name. He's the singer with Slash and Alter Bridge. He has a great voice, but I wasn't sure what this was going to be about, and it's some cool, really cool melodic hard rock, and it was really a lot of fun. I really dug the title track, The Ides of March. In fact, the whole first side I thought was really excellent, and this is a double vinyl. It's got cool inlay in there. So thank you, Steve, at All the World's a Stage. Go check out his YouTube channel. He's been on my page. We did the Lucifer's Friend video not too long ago. He's got a lot of cool stuff happening on his page. All right. I've mentioned before that I like compilations. I haven't done a compilation video in a while. And Leonard Skinner, Best of the Rest. I actually started off listening to the Gold and Platinum compilation, but my copy is in really bad shape. So I just abandoned it, and I went to this one. And this is cool because it doesn't really have any of the big hits. The only sort of hit on here is Call Me the Breeze. It may be Working for MCA. It's also cool because there's 2 live cuts, Working for MCA and T for Texas. And it's got 2, I guess at this time, I'm sure they're on some compilation or remaster at this point, songs that hadn't been released, which is I've Been Your Fool and Gotta Go, which I guess were songs that were recorded for their first album but didn't make it on or something like that. I'm not a huge Southern rock fan, but every now and then I'm in the mood for this kind of stuff. I love the guitar sounds. I love, the vocal delivery and this sort of grooviness to some of it. So it's a lot of fun, and it was a fun compilation. Crank it up. All right, I gotta move Miles Kennedy here because he's singing. All right, put Skinner there. All right, and last, Amorphous, Tales from the Thousand Lakes. This is Doom Death, and I haven't listened to this in quite some time. My copy, the vinyl, is pretty cool. It's a blue and white vinyl, like the Finnish flag, I believe, which is where they're from. This is kind of like a splatter kind of thing. I don't know if that shows up in the video. I'm a big doom metal fan. Can't say I'm a huge doom death fan, but this is pretty cool. It's got a lot of atmosphere to it. I'm going to do a video on this album at some point. Thousand Lakes, First Doom, Black Winter Day. These are all great song titles and great heavy riffing. I'll tell you something funny. I haven't listened to this in a long time. And I don't know why I thought that it was a 45 RPM record. And for those that don't know, sometimes what artists will do is they'll take an album that was a single record and they'll split it across 2 records, but make it 45 RPM. So it spins faster and that gives you better sound quality. So when I first put it on, I put it on at 45 and I was listening to it and I was like, yeah, gosh, this is some pretty traditional metal type riffing here. And then when the vocals came in, I was like, man, these are almost like black metal vocals. I don't remember their vocals being like this. And I was like, oh, wait a minute, this record's supposed to be at 33 RPMs. So I turned it back down to 33, and those riffs that I was listening to before, they were like, jun, 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 or now like, jun, 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 jun. And the vocals were now like, instead of really high, they were super guttural vocals. So, but it's a cool album with a lot of atmosphere on it. So, all right, there you go. Those are my quick hits on my latest listens, vinyl listens here. Let me know what you guys, maybe some quick thoughts on some things that you listened to recently, whether it's on vinyl, CD, streaming, whatever, it doesn't matter. But what are some of the things that you've just given a quick listen to here in the last week or so? So let me know in the comments down below. And until we see you again, make sure you stay heavy, stay metal.